Weather is more than just rain, snow, or sunshine. It shapes life, work, and survival. And in some American cities, it has become a silent force driving people away. Floods, hurricanes, wildfires, extreme heat, and endless winter storms have slowly destroyed economies, homes, and the daily lives of residents. Streets grow emptier. Businesses shut down. Families relocating! In this video, we explore the top 10 US cities where weather is pushing residents to leave. These are real places with real consequences and real stories of communities struggling to survive nature's fury. By the end, you will understand why weather is not just a background event, it is now a deciding factor in where Americans live. Why weather can destroy a city. Cities are built for people, not for disasters. But when extreme weather becomes regular, cities face unique challenges. Homes become uninhabitable due to flooding, storms, or wildfires. Local businesses lose revenue as customers stay home or relocate. Infrastructure fails. Roads, power lines, water systems are damaged. Population decline leads to fewer tax dollars, shrinking municipal budgets. In short, weather can slowly erode the foundation of a city, both physically and socially. City 1, New Orleans. Louisiana, New Orleans is known for Mardi Gras, jazz, and its vibrant culture, but it is also famous for hurricanes and flooding. Hurricane Katrina 2005 was the most devastating, but since then, rising sea levels and stronger storms continue to threaten the city. Even small storms can flood streets and homes. Insurance costs are high. Many residents cannot afford repeated repairs. Businesses struggle to rebuild after each storm. Some neighborhoods have never recovered fully. People leave not because they hate the culture, but because survival costs and constant danger make life unsustainable. Population decline is evident in empty streets and abandoned homes in certain neighborhoods. City 2, Miami. Florida Miami is a paradise for tourists, but a nightmare for residents worried about hurricanes and rising seas. Flooding is becoming regular, even without storms. Streets can be submerged during high tides. Water seeps into basements and damages infrastructure. Property values in flood-prone areas are declining. Insurance premiums are skyrocketing. Many families are choosing to relocate to safer inland areas. The threat of extreme weather has started a slow but steady migration away from the city. Miami's vibrancy persists, but parts of the city are slowly being abandoned. City 3, New York City, New York. New York City is a global hub, but climate change is making winters harsher and summers unbearably hot. Snowstorms paralyze public transport. Heatwaves put millions at risk, especially vulnerable populations. Flood-prone areas like Lower Manhattan face regular street flooding. Businesses struggle with unpredictable weather disruptions. Residents weigh the cost of city life with the increasing risks of extreme weather. Some move to suburbs or less disaster-prone cities. New York City's population still grows overall, but certain neighborhoods feel the effects of weather-driven migration. City 4, Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville is a coastal city increasingly affected by hurricanes and flooding. Storm surges damage property. Roads become impassable. Homeowners face expensive repairs and high insurance costs. The city still thrives economically, but middle-class families are leaving 4 areas less exposed to natural disasters. Over time, these migrations affect local businesses and schools. City 5, Houston, Texas. Houston has faced multiple catastrophic floods in recent years, including Hurricane Harvey in 2017. Repeated flooding makes it difficult for families to maintain homes. Insurance is expensive. Infrastructure struggles to cope with extreme rainfall. People are moving to higher ground, suburbs, or neighboring states. Population decline in certain neighborhoods is noticeable, and recovery becomes slower after each disaster. City 6, Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix faces a different threat. Extreme heat. Summers regularly exceed 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Urban heat islands make the city almost unbearable in summer months. Electricity costs rise due to air conditioning. Health risks increase for the elderly and children. Some residents are leaving for cooler climates. Businesses struggle to retain staff. While Phoenix grows overall, heat drives selective abandonment in the hottest neighborhoods. City 7. Newark, New Jersey. Newark experiences flooding, winter storms, and occasional heat waves. Older infrastructure fails under extreme weather. Power outages during storms are common. Roads are damaged during freeze-thaw cycles. Residents increasingly relocate to safer and more affordable areas. Abandoned properties in certain districts reflect this slow decline. How weather affects mental health. Extreme weather is not just a physical burden, it is emotional and psychological. Anxiety from repeated disasters, stress from financial and repair burdens. Depression from isolation during storms or extreme conditions. Mental fatigue accelerates the decision to move. Families choose stability over attachment to a place with constant environmental threats. City 8, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore faces flooding, coastal storms, and aging infrastructure. Repeated winter storms paralyze transport. Summers bring heat waves and humidity. Many neighborhoods experience vacant homes and declining schools. Residents leaving disrupt communities and reduce economic activity, making recovery even harder. If you have experienced living through extreme weather or have relocated because of it, share your story in the comments. Weather is reshaping America, and your story matters. City 9, Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville is located at the southern tip of Texas, near the Gulf of Mexico, and it faces frequent hurricanes, tropical storms, and extreme heat. For many residents, daily life has become a constant negotiation with weather. Streets flood during heavy rains. Houses near the coast require continuous maintenance. And heat waves make outdoor work almost impossible in summer. Local businesses struggle to operate consistently. Schools close during storms, disrupting education. Families are forced to rebuild repeatedly after hurricanes or severe rain events. This constant pressure drives middle-class families to relocate to safer inland areas, while Brownsville retains some of its population. Entire neighborhoods show the effects of weather-driven abandonment, boarded-up homes, empty streets, and fading local businesses. City 10, Newport News. Virginia Newport News faces rising sea levels, frequent flooding, and occasional winter storms that the city infrastructure struggles to handle. Residents living in flood-prone areas face repeated property damage. Roads are often impassable during storms, making commuting and daily life a challenge. Emergency services are stretched thin during extreme weather events. As the economic cost of living rises due to repairs, insurance, and utilities, many families leave in search of stability. Empty streets and underutilized businesses reflect the slow but steady decline caused by weather-related migration. Despite city efforts to adapt with improved infrastructure and flood prevention, the threat remains, prompting some residents to abandon their homes permanently. Emotional impact on residents living in these cities takes an emotional toll that is often underestimated. Anxiety over impending storms or extreme temperatures, emotional fatigue from repairing damage repeatedly, fear of losing livelihoods due to disrupted businesses, depression from isolation when roads and neighborhoods are affected by weather. Residents often describe the feeling of being trapped, attached to the city by memories and community ties, but pushed to leave by the environment. Leaving is rarely easy. It involves leaving homes, friends, schools, and sometimes the city one has lived in 4 generations. But survival, stability, and peace of mind become more important than attachment. Economic and infrastructure challenges. Extreme weather erodes the economic foundation of these cities. Repeated damage to roads, bridges, and utilities increases maintenance costs. Businesses lose revenue during closures or damage events. Property values in flood or storm-prone areas decline. Insurance premiums rise beyond affordability for many families. These factors feed into a cycle as residents leave. Tax revenue declines! Cities have fewer resources to repair infrastructure, making conditions worse for those who remain. The cycle accelerates population decline, creating pockets of abandoned neighborhoods. Empty neighborhoods and deserted streets in cities like Brownsville and Newport News. Abandoned homes are a common sight. Boards cover windows. Gardens are overgrown. Streets once filled with children playing and neighbors chatting now feel silent, especially after a storm season. Even businesses are affected. Cafes, shops, and family-run stores close when the customer base shrinks Grocery stores relocate or close entirely if their area is repeatedly damaged. The emptiness is both literal and emotional, a reminder of the cost of living under constant environmental threat. How the next generation is affected. Young families are the first to leave. Parents do not want their children growing up in unstable, weather-threatened areas. Schools close or operate with fewer students, and extracurricular activities vanish. This outmigration changes the demographic makeup of the cities. Older residents remain longer, while young adults and families relocate. Eventually, this reduces innovation, economic growth, and social energy in the community. Cities that once thrived feel quieter, slower, and more fragile. The cultural and social vibrancy diminishes over time. The future of weather-impacted cities, not all hope is lost. Some cities adapt. Improved infrastructure like flood defenses, seawalls, and storm-resistant roads. Emergency preparedness plans and disaster-resilient community programs. Investment in climate-resilient housing and sustainable urban planning, promoting relocation within the city to safer neighborhoods. Yet adaptation is expensive and slow. Cities that cannot implement these changes may continue to lose residents. Weather, as a silent force, determines which cities survive and which slowly fade. Final reflection. Extreme weather is reshaping America in ways most people rarely see. It is not just about storms, snow, or heat. It is about lives disrupted, communities fractured, and cities slowly emptied. From hurricanes in New Orleans and Miami to extreme heat in Phoenix, and from flooding in Newport News to repeated winter storms in northern cities, weather is forcing Americans to make difficult choices. It is a reminder that no city is immune. Nature, when persistent and extreme, shapes our lives in profound and irreversible ways. Have you ever lived in a city affected by extreme weather? Have you relocated to escape floods, storms, or unbearable heat? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could help others understand the true cost of living in these weather-impacted cities. And if you want more in-depth stories about American cities, climate impacts, and how people adapt to extreme conditions, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Because every city has a story, and some are slowly disappearing under the weight of weather.